kiddos. No, you're not going blind. It's not blurry, but it is black and white, mainly because I had to make copies from Colton Grubbs' page, so he'll have his back. All right, guys, so make sure you put your name, and it's on pages. Now, these are kind of weird pages right now. It's IN101, okay? So it's going to be IN101 to 106. Make sure you put your name on it. You're going to be turning all of this in today, so make sure you put the staple at the very top, like we used to do back in the olden days. See, this is actually in color, but the page is black and white. So the essential question is, how does geometry help me solve problems in everyday life? So today what we're going to be talking about is finding the perimeter of polygons. Remember polygons, what we did a long time ago, many-sided shapes, and perimeter, sorry. As we have talked about, perimeter is the measure around something, not the inside, but it's like the outside of something. And I always try to remember it by saying like the officer walked the perimeter of the compound or whatever. He walked around the outside of it, the perimeter. So if you're going to put a fence up, you do perimeter. Carpet, I always think of like area. So I'd always, I might mark this, say carpet is area, fence is perimeter. And that helps me kind of remember sometimes which one is which, and so I don't get confused. And for perimeter, we just add up all the sides is all we do. And it's fairly simple. You just got to keep track of what you've added up. A polygon is made up of line segments that do not cross each other. The rectangle at the right has opposite sides that are congruent. So this is equal to this. So this means this equals 4. And then that means this one here equals 6. So if we're going to find the perimeter, we'll just add up all those sides. Okay, you can find the perimeter of a figure by finding the distance around the figure. Perimeter is a measure of length. So we're going to add 6 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4. And when you do that, you get 10. You get 10. You add those together, you're going to get 20. So that's how they got 20 right there. So math in my world, we're going to do the exact same thing. We're just got more sides to add up. Okay. So a fence is built around part of the dog park shown. How much fencing is needed? So you can see with a regular quadrilateral we had up here, there's only 4 sides, but up here we have, oh, look at this, we have 5 sides now. Okay, we have a pentagon. So to find the distance around the park, you find the perimeter by adding the side lengths. So they did the estimating thing. We're not messing with that right now. We're going to go ahead and add these. And when I add them, what I do is I cross them out as I go along. So if I'm writing down here and they've already written them right here, I would say, well, 6, cross it out, plus 6, cross it out, plus 9, cross it out, plus 10 and a half, plus, cross it out, and then another 9. Now, you can, I would, using the commutative property, I would just go ahead and add them. The ones that are a lot alike, like 6 and 6 is 12. You know that 9 and 9 is 18, so you can cross those out. And then you have 10 and a half. Okay. And then if you add 12 and 18 together, you're going to get 30. So then 30 plus 10 and a half equals 40 and 5/10 meters. And that's what they came up with here. Okay, so you're just adding, and that's fairly simple adding it. So as it says here, you'll need 40. You'll actually need 41 feet or 41 meters, but technically we'll just say 40.5 meters. But when you're buying, you don't usually buy in a half meter. You'd buy the full meter, depending on what you're buying. But anyway, next page, key concept. The perimeter P of the square is 4 times the length. So if it's a square, if you remember, squares are all sides are equal. Remember that? So it doesn't, if this equals 4, well, you just say 4 times 4 because this equals side, so it'd be 4 times 4. So the perimeter would actually be 16. And the area is also 16 because you take 4 times 4. But if you add 4 plus 4 plus 4 plus 4, you're going to get 16 either way. Hi and his uncle tiled the kitchen floor using square tiles like the one shown at the right. What is the perimeter of the tile? So the key thing right here is he said square tiles. So you know that this equals 2, so then this is going to equal 2, that's going to equal 2, and that's going to equal 2. Okay? I like how this is Ike. Ike, the one, like, right there. Must be the copier or something that made that mark, but maybe it had a wrinkle in it. I don't know. Anyway, so again, for a square, like it says, a square has all sides equal, all right angles. Okay. So again, all you got to do on this one is find the. Now we could add all these sides up and just say 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2, which equals 4, 6, 8, right? Because when we add those together, because the side length is 2. So 4 times 2, so the perimeter is 8. Okay. The perimeter of the tile is 8 feet because, again, we add those all up. Now, down here it talks about the perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. Now, they're throwing all this stuff at you, and I think it's just going to confuse you. But what they're throwing at you is you have the length, because these are supposed to, for a rectangle, like say this is 4. Well, that's going to be 4, right? That's why they do the 2 times the length, because, well, it's 2 times 4, because you're going to get 8 on that, right? So you basically just double it because it's equal. Kind of like we did at the square up here, how they did 4 times the side. Well, all the sides should be equal, so you just say 4 times 2, which would give you 8. But on a rectangle, this right here would say this is 2 and this is 2. Well, those are supposed to be equal for a rectangle, so that's why you take the 2L and the 2W. So Christina is sewing a lace border around the edges of her scrapbook. How many inches of lace will Christina need? Okay, so she looks like she's got the scrapbook over here. Okay, and you know that this side is going to be equal to this side, and this side is going to be equal to that side. So see, we have 2 7s over here. So the length, we could say again, is 2 times 7 plus, when you have them together like this, just means times. And then you have 9 and 9, so we can say 2 times 9, and that's going to give us our perimeter. And see, they did it down here. They wrote about the same way I did. Okay. So then what's 2 times 7? You get 14. Well, what's 2 times 9? You get 18. Well, when you add those together, what do you get? You get 32. So down here, perimeter equals 18, 14. You add them together, you get 32. So Christina will need 32 inches. Now notice we don't do, on these we don't do inches squared, or because on perimeter when you're adding. And I know you multiply down here, but you're still adding just inches. So the perimeter would be inches. When you get to doing like the, as I had right here, the area, you multiply. Anytime you multiply those two things together, you're going to get the centimeters squared. But in this sense, you're only adding them, so you would only just get plain old inches. Let's look at the independent practice. Find the perimeter of each figure. So this one here, you have 3 of them. Okay, you only have 3-sided figure on this one. So again, to find the perimeter, we're going to add all the sides together, right? And that's it. So we're going to say, well, what is 18 plus, cross it out, 16 plus 30? You're going to add them up. So it looks like 18 and 16 is 34. 34 and 30 is 64 millimeters. We just add them up. For this right here, it's a quadrilateral. Trapezoid to be exact. Again, we add them up. We say, well, it's 11 plus 9.5 plus 7 plus 9.5. Now I'm going to look at these halves and say I want to get rid of those halves, because you know a half and a half equals a whole, right? So 1/2 plus 1/2 equals a whole. 9 plus 9 equals 18. Add that one whole on there. You get 11 plus 19 plus 7. And then let's go ahead and add those. You get 11 and 19 is 30 plus 7 equals 37 inches. And that is our perimeter when we talk about that trapezoid there. Now this one's got all kinds of stuff on it. That's where you definitely want to mark some stuff off to keep track. Okay. So we have 11 plus 9 plus 10 plus 20 plus 16 plus 15 plus 12. I think we got them all there. We got that side. Looks like we got all the sides covered. So now we just start adding. 11 and 9 is 20. Cross those out. 10 and 20 is 30. Cross those out. 16 and 15 is 31. Cross those out plus 12. So they're going to add these together. So I know, well, let's go ahead and do this. 30 and 31 is 61. 61 plus 20 is 81 plus 12. And then we need to do this one, which is going to be 93. So 93 millimeters just by adding those up. Now we got to find the perimeter of each square or rectangle. Okay, square. Hey, 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5, or 5 times, as it says there, perimeter equals 4 times a side for a square, right? So perimeter equals 4 times 5. So our perimeter is 20 inches. It appears that this one here is a square because this one's going to be 8 and that's going to be 8. So this is going to be the same thing. Perimeter equals 4 times the side. So perimeter equals 4 times 8. So the perimeter is 32 centimeters. Now we have a rectangle. Remember, this is where you say perimeter equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. So P is going to equal, let's go ahead and do 2 times 12 plus 2 times 7.5 is 7.5. So perimeter, this is going to be 24. 2 times 12 is 24. Plus, what's 7.5 plus 7.5? You get 14. You add the whole, you get 15. And now let's add those up. You're going to get 39 feet. 39 feet. Same equation. P equals 2 times the length plus 2 times the width. P equals 2 times, we have 31 and a third, plus the width, 2 times 16. It doesn't matter really which one you pick is your width or your length. It's still as long as you use both of them. So this one's going to be 31 and a third. So this is going to be, if we double that, it's going to be definitely 62 and 2/3 plus 32, because 2 times 16 is 32. We add these whole numbers together and we're going to get, looks like 94 and 2/3 yards. 94 and 2/3 yards. Another rectangle here because this equals 20 and this equals 14. So it's a rectangle. So P equals 2 times length plus 2W. Okay, so 2 times the length, which is 20, plus the width is 14. So 2 times 14. 2 times 20 is 40, plus 2 times 14 is 28. Add those together, you get 68 centimeters. A square, because look, those are the same, so it means that those are going to be 14. So again, the perimeter of a square is 4 times a side. So 4 times 15.4. Well, we go over here to the side if we have to. Remember, we don't have to line up our decimals when we're multiplying decimals. So this is 16, carry that one. 4 times 5 is 21, carry that one. 4 times 1 is 4, plus 2 is 6, and we're going to move it over one space. So 61.6 centimeters is our perimeter for number 12. All right, and then we have that last one, which is a rectangle. So perimeter equals 2 length plus 2W. So 2 times the length, which is 17, plus 2 times the width, which is 4, which is going to give us 34, plus 8, which gives us 42 inches. 42 inches. Not too shabby. Shabby. All right. An octagon-shaped table has two sides measuring 4 feet and the other side's measuring 1 foot. What is the perimeter? So you got to think there's 8 sides on an octagon, right? And then it says two sides have them 4. So you have 4 and 4, and the other sides are 1. So that means you need to have how many 1 foot sections? You already got 2. 8 minus 2 is 6, so you're going to have 6. So we're going to say plus 6. So what's 4 plus 4? Is 8. 8 plus 6 is 14 feet is the perimeter of that octagon. A billiards table is twice as long as it is wide. If the perimeter of a billiards table is 24, what is the length and the width? So this time they give us, here's the billiards table, with you got the pockets in there. And it says that the perimeter is 24. So if the the length is twice as long as it is wide, and you got to come up with something that equals 24. So, remember when we did factorizations, we did 1 and 24, we did 2 and 12, we did 3 and 8, we did 4 and 6. Those all multiplied together equals 24. So let's say we did 8 and 4. Is this twice as long as that? It is, right? So then let's try that out. So if we take, and since this is a rectangle, we're going to take 2 times the length, which is 8, plus 2 times the width, which is 4. And that's going to give us 16 plus 8, which equals 24. So it looks to me like the length equals 8, the width equals 4 feet. And we're done. Use a centimeter ruler to measure the sides lengths of the rectangle shown. Select and use appropriate units to find the perimeter of this rectangle. Well, I guess I got to get a ruler, and you might have to get one as well. But I'm grabbing one right here. And we're doing it, it says what, in centimeters. Okay, so I got to line it up on that 0 right there. All right, we're lining it up on the 0, and it looks to me like it's pretty close to 3. So it looks like this is 3 centimeters. And then going wide, looks like it's 2. And if it's a rectangle, that means this is 2, and then this is 3. So perimeter of a rectangle is 2 times the length plus 2 times the W, the width. So 2 times 3 plus 2 times 2, which equals 6, which equals 4, which equals 10. 10 centimeters is the perimeter of that rectangle. All right, so we're going to end there because I think you guys got to get the point on it, and I want you guys to have time for your homework. If you got any questions, again, go back here. You're going to want to reference things like this right here. This up here talks about how to find the perimeter of a square. This one's how to find the perimeter of a rectangle. So those are all the things you want to make sure you look at when you're doing this or doing the homework portion of this. You just need to make sure, like, hey, if it's a square, there's an easy way to do it. You just need to remember that you're adding all the sides up. And remember, the units are they're not squared, they're not cubed this time, they're just the plain old unit there. And you guys have the homework here, which is 9 problems. All right, good luck. Make sure you guys turn it in. If you have any questions, by all means, make sure you ask me, and I will try to help you if you've tried to help yourself. So thanks for watching, guys.